And I think we are live right now. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the S4 Summit 2024, the spring edition. Not everyone is able to join, to experience spring right now. For example, in the place that we are streaming from right now, it's more wintry, but it should change in a few moments. As you can tell, we are still speaking English, and that's because our speakers, we have another international stream right now ahead of us. As you can see on your screens, I'm not alone here. Two great speakers are here with me. Markus Paus from Salesforce. He's a principal Salesforce architect that has been with Salesforce for 10 years now. And he's also a guest lecturer for AI in enterprise systems at ESCP Business School in Berlin. Joining us is also Aleksander Kaszewski, who is responsible for MarTech digital portfolio of Salesforce, working with enterprise strategic customer in CEE to support growth and development in digital world. I'm very happy to welcome you guys to S4 Summit 2024, Data and AI Strategy, Salesforce Vision of AI, Open Infrastructure and Democratization of Data. That's very important right now. AI in Salesforce is something that our viewers are very, very interested during this conference. So we are very happy to have you guys here. Also, please just let me remind our viewers that we'll be having a Q&A session at the end of this presentation. I will be joining our speakers to show your questions to them, and hopefully they will answer all of your questions, concerns, things that you guys are interested in. So I will join you very soon, and now enjoy the presentation. Hello, Markus. Hello, Aleksander.
Hello, everyone. We are very, very happy to be here. So, to not lose time, let's start. So, the first thing, dziękujemy. Thank you so much for spending time with us. It's great that you want to learn what is the Salesforce vision of AI and data. But before we jump to the topic, of course, we are going to speak about AI. So, I use some AI model to generate this super great image. I asked AI to create an image of developers enjoying the party, eating pizza and spending a time together. And I really want us sometime in the future to meet in person, on site, have a nice evening. But this is a great example why AI should be really monitored, and that should be used wisely. And you need to check what the AI is bringing back. Because when you make a deep dive into this image, you can see that those guys are looking really weird. So imagine if you create a content and you send this content to your customers, and this content will look like this. Actually, that's not the worst. That's my favorite guy in this image. I think he's looking super strange. So that's a very important and very sexy beginning of our session, because we want to tell you what is Salesforce vision to avoid situations like this. So let's start. And before we enter the main presentation, I really want to encourage you, because you are more from the technical side, you're architects, developers, consultants, you work on the projects, you are responsible for a backlog to deliver the sprints, to keep the documentation, etc. But we will speak today about more visionary things, strategy, where Salesforce wants to be in the 5-10 years. And me and Markus wants to encourage you to start these discussions with your peers, with your business departments, to show them what they can achieve with the platform, having the data in one place, using AI in a trust way to build efficiency, to increase revenue, to increase margin, to do the business better, to address your customers better. And going further, before we will jump to the technical part, so the Markus slides, I want to do a little bit of intro. What are the market trends? What is changing? So first of all businesses are facing main challenge that they need to deliver unique, personalized approach in every channel. So to be able to achieve this omni-channel approach. And as you can see, the number one problem and challenge for customers, their main frustration is disconnected customer experience. So using data and AI, you need to deliver this personal experience. From the business perspective, customer acquisition costs is getting higher and higher. Campaigns effectiveness is getting lower and lower. You have a lot of data sources, and not only this is the challenge. The challenge is how we will use our data in a safe way. At the same time, we have the fastest growing technology that we've ever seen. So as you can see on the slide, Instagram needed 2.5 years to achieve 100 million users. TikTok was a little faster, nearly 1 year, but ChatGPT needed 2 months to achieve 100 million users. That shows that we have to speak about AI. We must implement AI strategy in our businesses. You need to do it as a technical part of the companies. You will be the main driver of this change, and you will be the main driver to deliver it in a safe way. So knowing that, we have, of course, the predictive AI that you are already using. Everyone probably on this webinar, on this session, knows our Einstein, which was a part of the platform from 2014. And or this Einstein lead scoring, send optimization. I hope you are using it. If not, please start to do it. Encourage your marketing manager to start using those tools because they bring very good results. But now we see a huge shift to the generative AI, and it's a number one priority for all marketers, for all CEOs that we are speaking with, that the companies, the IT department, business department, they need to figure out the generative AI strategy. So how we'll use our data, how we'll use AI models to bring efficiency in our business. And it's not that you have a lot of time to do it. You have to act now because, as you see, wave 1, so the predictive AI, it's already in the past. Now we are in the wave 2. So we need to use generative AI to bring efficiency. But we have wave 3, wave 4 coming, and we need to be prepared. And without good foundation of data and generative AI, you won't be able to jump on the next waves to do your business better. So just to show the results, we have the customers all over the world that are already using our Einstein GPT, so our generative AI in the, for example, Marketing Cloud, and they see a significant result. So I really want to encourage you, if you are using our technology now, or if you are influencing the decisions in organization, convince the business to try, to not be afraid of technology, to use it, and they will see the results and increase in efficiency. But the main issue that we hear on the meetings with customers, on a big conference worldwide, is that still we have AI trust gap. And because of that, businesses cannot use generative AI to run business better, to use, we call it customer AI. So the AI models that will serve your customers, that will help you to communicate with them and do the customer service, for example. Why? Because there is a privacy issue, because these models are hallucination. They have hallucinations. They are biased. They have toxicity. And because of that, you are not able to use the power of AI in your business, in your daily operations. And that's what we want to respond with Data Cloud and our platform. But before we will go to our main response and our vision and strategy of AI and data, I bring some figures and reports from the IT side, why IT is concerned about the AI and the whole trend. First is that it will bring a new security risks, and we will discuss about it with Markus, how Salesforce address those security part of using AI. And of course, nearly 70% of seniority leaders believe that the business people won't have the skills to use AI, because there are a lot of situations now on the market that someone is putting the company data into prompts, and those data are now accessible for everyone who has access to public internet, which is absolutely something that we have to avoid, we must avoid, and it's not the way we want to do the business. So what is our promise is that even though we are delivering the best experience to your customers now, we want to do it in the future using AI, increasing your efficiency and increasing your relation with the customers. That's why we are now see the huge growth it's in the data cloud, which is our response to this whole data and AI strategy. So thanks to data cloud, you will be able to ingest the data from any potential data sources that you have now in the company. You will be able to harmonize those data, create this unified profile of the customer, and then use this to build segments, micro segments. AI, the models will learn on those data, so they will be grounded. They will have more context, and you will be able to activate it in every potential channel that you want. So that was the short, brief, and short grounding for our session before Markus will take a lead and take you into the technical part of Data Cloud. But before it, I really want to show you that we in Salesforce can be super happy and proud how mature is the platform that we have currently. It's a newest Magic Quadrant from Gartner for customer data platforms. And as you can see, Salesforce again is a leader and visionary in this quadrant. And that shows that our vision and strategy for data AI is a good choice. And we really believe that that's the way in the future companies will play with data and AI models. So that was a very short introduction. And Markus, I pass the microphone to you, and let's start the deep dive.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. So let's see. Trusted AI data cloud architecture. What does this mean? So we're going to start with the data layer. You see, we have different layers here, and yeah, everybody who was in the Salesforce ecosystem for a bit longer knows this kind of diagram. We have the different layers in the Salesforce architecture, and today we start with the bottom layer, Hyperforce and Data Cloud. So Data Cloud always runs on Hyperforce. This is a necessity for us to be able to deliver the scalability and everything, and also the security environment that we want to have for all our data. And Data Cloud, is the foundation for all the rest. So Hyperforce on top, we have Data Cloud. We have all the advantages of Hyperforce here in terms of governance, in terms of data residency and compliance. And the great thing is now we also come with Hyperforce with encryption, with a tenant level encryption. So every tenant is encrypted in a different way, which is really something new for Salesforce and for our customers, and brings really an additional layer of security here as well. Data Cloud itself has another few advantages that we're gonna talk about now, because you see already on the right, the different lakes and all this stuff. One thing I want to explain quickly is that Data Cloud is not a typical data lake, and it's not on a typical data warehouse. It's a lake house. I'm gonna explain a little bit later what this means. But I know, and I've seen this a lot in our customer base, that a lot of customers have tried around and use other solutions already, like Snowflake, Databricks, BigQuery, and so on. And that's why we say, okay, that's great. Yeah, we don't want to replace them. We would like to, probably from a sales perspective, but it doesn't make necessarily sense. Yeah. So, and replacing something like an integrated data lake or data warehouse is a pain. So we said, okay, that's great. Keep your own one, and just put Data Cloud beside it, and then with our zero copy connectors, we can connect to these data lakes and data warehouses without copying the data over. So we just access the data, read the data, use the data, do something with the data, but we're never copying it into Salesforce. Yeah. So now this is one of the principles in architecture. Do you really need to copy something? And in this case, we say, no, you shouldn't, or you don't need to. Next, please. Here. And here you can see a little bit the benefit or the advantage of a lake house. So you see data is flowing from the left to the right. So what you do is you create your data model in Data Cloud. And it comes already with the canonical model that you can extend, of course, to your needs. You can basically build anything you want. Very similar to what you know already from Salesforce Core when you create your own objects. Yeah. But you have data coming from other areas. You see here, for example, some data, the contract here is coming from the core platform, a subscriber from marketing, some guest from commerce, or the invoice in this case from your ERP system, for example. So, and this data all comes in through different connectors, and yeah, but you want to have this in the same data model. And with Data Cloud, you have the option to map this data, to model this way that the data moves on automatically. So that means you can also say, for example, our finance department, they always have the newest address. Our sales guys are maybe not always on the newest, don't have the newest information, but the finance department has, because they set up the invoices. So then we can say, for example, the invoice data overrides the contract or the account data. And these things can all be configured based on rules that you can configure, for example. And so this whole thing helps you to have really one single view and one unified data and one data model in your Data Cloud. And the same goes for identity, of course. We have the same data that comes from the left. Yeah, could be a little bit, let's say, it comes from different sources, and it can be different accounts, and we don't know if Peter, Paul, and Mary that come in as subscribers are the same Peter, Paul, and Mary that we already have as contacts, or that we have as guest shoppers in our commerce solution. And this is what we try to map based on different matching rules. So, and then we build one unified profile that we have here, and that you can use in your sales service, whatever cloud and uses. Data gets enriched, data moves together, and then it's there. Of course, there's a bit of configuration necessary, but it is very, very, very handy. Yeah, thanks. That's fine. Yeah, move over. So that was the data layer, to keep it simple. One thing I didn't say, and I should maybe say this. I'm not sure if I'm really allowed to say this, but I'm going to do it. So when you guys open a developer edition from Salesforce, the free developer edition that you can use, that probably most of you know, and you activate Data Cloud in there, you can also activate all the beta connectors. Yeah, and there you can see many connectors that are going to come with Data Cloud. And that I talk about not only about connectors to these different data lakes like Databricks and Snowflake and so on. You will find connectors to ERP solutions, to service solutions, and I don't want to name them here now, but there are many systems there that everybody will know, and that some of you probably also use, and you will be able to bring this data over. Okay, the second layer we're going to talk about now is the AI layer, and the AI layer is basically, so of course, based on the whole data layer, because, as we said, we need the data to ground our models. And when we look here, we have, again, in the AI layer, 3 little layers: the builders, the trust layer, and the models. I'm not going to talk so much about the models, because, to be honest, we don't really care about the model you want to use. Yeah, may it be the Salesforce model that we bring, may it be OpenAI, may it be all the others that will come there, and there's more to come. It's not really important for us. That I will tell you in a minute why. Important for us is the builders, the prompt builder, the model builder, prediction builders, but mainly the model builder is one of the most important things here. Also, the whole trust layer in the middle, the trust layer that does the grounding, the masking, and all these things. This is very, very important. These are these is basically the most important thing, because the trust layer makes us able to do what you will see in the next slide. Oh yeah, here it really describe exactly, as I said before, you have the experience layer, the data layer, and the prompt layer. So the experience layer, the user experience. Now, from our perspective, it's Salesforce. You use Salesforce, or hopefully you use Salesforce. You use Salesforce to use everything else, to use the AI. Yeah, you have the experience that you have out of the box there. You have some UI that creates the prompt, and then you have the co-pilot interface, which is there over all clouds the same. And then we have the prompt engine in the middle, an engine in the middle with a trust layer. And from there, we connect to the different AIs, to the different large language models that we want to have. No, let's say OpenAI. And the prompt builder is a central part of the whole machine, of the whole thing. Why? Because not everybody is a good prompt engineer, to be honest. And I'm probably also not the best with this, but I know some colleagues that are really, really good with that. And for that reason, we can deliver, or we can create centrally controlled prompts, controlled by an admin, controlled by somebody who's really able to do that. And we bring the data from Data Cloud, from Apex, from flows, and so on into the prompt. We can use it in the prompt and push it through the trust layer into the AI, into the large language model, and then again it moves. The answer moves up to our experience, to our out-of-the-box experience. We see it in Copilot. We see it in the different areas where we can receive the prompts, where we send the prompt. So it's technically pretty simple. It sounds pretty simple, but there is a bit behind it. Next, please. So, and I said already, I'm not going to talk too much about large language models and about different models, because we really don't want to care about them. Of course, as I said, we come with something own, but we're completely agnostic, and that's the whole idea. We want you to bring your own model, not or just to have some model from some vendor that's out there. So I read an article just, I think last weekend it was, that there are 149 different models out, and 109 of these models, of these large language models, are from the US. So as Polish customer, you might prefer a European model. Let's say, maybe some Polish model. If it's, I don't know if there's a Polish model, but I know, for example, in Czech Republic, we have a few models, but we also have some in French and France, and we have some in Germany. So there's probably something. So, and that's why we say, okay, we are an international vendor, and we want our customers to choose the model that makes sense for them. Also, you might have a very specialized business, and you want to have your self-trained model, which knows exactly your, let's say, your knowledge base or your products very, very well. Now, I recently had a conversation with a big German pharma company, and they wanted to build their own model over all their products. And of course, it makes sense that these guys bring this model, for example, into their service solution. Yeah. Okay. And it's pretty easy to connect these models. This is what we want to do. So this is Einstein Studio, which is part of Data Cloud. In Einstein Studio, you see we have connected here already a few OpenAI versions, and also a version from OpenAI that runs on Azure Cloud in this case. And here we can click very easily on Add Foundation Model, next, and then we can choose. In this case, we have chose Azure. And then we can just put our credentials in there, the right URL where we authenticate against, and then it's there. That's how the whole thing works. And this is already there. This is what you can get already. Right now, it's GA. At the moment, it's GA for OpenAI and for OpenAI on Azure. But there is more to come. As I said, this in the next weeks, month, you will see there a lot more coming. And this is actually, something I'm excited about, because, as I said, it's the same idea that we always had at Salesforce. We don't care what ERP solution a customer uses. We don't care what other things customers use. We have an API for that, and that's what we do here as well. Yeah, if customers want to use a different model, or if customers want to use their own model, then we can connect to it. That's one of the principles. It's the same strategy that we always had. We just continue our strategy here in this way as well. Alex, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Markus. So that was a technical part of the session. Now let's back to the maybe more vision and strategy, how we see this whole topic. So what I want to emphasize is that what Markus just described, so this open ecosystem, bring your own lake, bring your own model, bring your own AI, that's the main goal of building Data Cloud. And as an example, I want to tell you one story. 2 weeks ago, I was on a conference and I spoke with a digital director of a huge company operating or 80 or 90 markets, and they were deciding a few years ago of a solution, of a platform, a technology platform that will help them to achieve a digital transformation, to run a digital transformation. And they didn't choose Salesforce because we have a lot of apps, because we are the vision and leader in the Magic Quadrants from Gartner. They chose Salesforce because that was the one solution, one technology that gives them a chance to have an open ecosystem in the future, because they told us on the global level, we have no idea what will happen. We have no idea which lake will be the best. We have no idea which model will be the best to create a copy, which model will be the best to create images, to videos. We have no idea who will be the leader in the next 5 years. So they say, we want to do the A/B testing of the models. We will onboard 2 models, ask them to create images to the campaign. We will do the A/B testing, and we will know which model we want to use, for which model we want to pay. And that's the reverse engineering of Salesforce Data Cloud. So not force customers, not force you to use our AI. Of course, it will be fantastic if you're gonna use ours, but you can use the model or lake you have already, or you prefer to use. That's the most important thing that I want you all to remember and share in your organizations, how Salesforce is approaching data and AI. And the second very important thing is, if we want to use AI wisely and efficiency, we need to ground the models on your company data. And that's another main advantage of Data Cloud, because the models that you bring to Data Cloud will understand your business. We will understand the attributes that are describing your customers, what you are selling, what are your products, what are your services, and the response from the model will be grounded on your company data. And I think what I'm showing you now is a very good example. What is the difference between no grounding and grounding? And only grounded models will be able to help you to do business better, faster, quicker, and to be more effective. So maybe before I give the microphone to Markus again, Einstein trust layer. So how we gonna make it to be used safely and to build this trust, that's the most important question we get from the customers. How can I be sure that the data that I put into prompt are safe and they won't be accessible for everyone in the world, because they will be in the public internet? And Markus will exactly describe how we build it and why it is unique approach.
Yeah. As you just gave a nice example, and I have another example here as well. I spoke last week to a startup here in Berlin. I live in Berlin, and the architect told me they use AI and LLMs very intense. For example, they have a platform where small businesses, small food businesses can order just what they need for the kitchen and whatever they want to sell, then what to use for cooking, and they can order through WhatsApp. So and what these guys do, for example, is that you can imagine somebody who's running his food business the whole day at 12 o'clock at night, just going through the kitchen, looks at the fridge and figures out, oh, I need tomatoes. Great. So he puts into his WhatsApp in the channel, I need 20 tomatoes, whatever, or 30 tomatoes by tomorrow. Good. But you can imagine that the wholesalers, they have about 40 different kinds of tomato: yellow, green, red, and so on, black as well, different brands, blah, 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 blah. So cherry tomatoes and big tomatoes. So the LLM goes now through the old orders and checks what is which tomatoes this guy orders usually, and just adds them to his shopping cart and executes the order. Yeah, that's a great example what you can do with an LLM. But what they did this with some public. I think they did it with ChatGPT before before we start with our trust layer here, with before it was ready. They just integrated by themselves. And then they said, yeah, but now we have the problem. How does it work with our data and with the customer's data? They're not really sure how it works, because you can have different agreements with ChatGPT, and you can have, depending on the contracts, it can become very expensive, for example, sometimes. And that's where we start. We start in Salesforce, of course. I told you already, we have the data in the CRM or in Data Cloud, and we create the prompt. We create the prompt through our prompt builder. We take prompt builder and tell the prompt, okay, include this and this and this and this data that we have in Data Cloud or in the CRM system somewhere in the core system. And this is something, as I said, we can do with Apex, with Flow, and so on. And we use this data to ground our prompt dynamically, as well as we use placeholders for the names, placeholders for data, and all these things. This is basically like building an email template, but a bit more complex, because you can do a bit more. Then we go and mask this prompt. That means we will make sure that name, birth date, ID number, credit card number, and so on, that these data never leaves the system. We mask this. So if the customer is called Aleksander Kaszewski, then we will probably call him Peter Parker later, or whatever, I don't know. So we will mask this data so that this data the original data doesn't leave the system. Then we have an AI there that we call prompt defense, that will check the whole prompt and to check if it makes sense, and if there is maybe something in that we have overseen. That, for example, shouldn't leave the system. Then we have, with our own models and with the models that we provide. So let's say you decide to use OpenAI through Salesforce with a Salesforce contract. We have enterprise agreements with for example, OpenAI and all the other vendors that will come. That when we send something over, nothing will stay in their systems, and nothing will use to train their systems. So it's a zero retention contract, and all the models we provide will have this zero retention policy. And then there is the response from the model that goes through some toxicity detection. The toxicity detection is again an AI from us that checks if the prompt is, let's say, if there's something toxic in it. For example, might be, let's call it, inappropriate or even racist or something like that. And this is something you will be able to configure how it works, if it works, and so on. All these, by the way, all these different parts can be, not all, but the most important ones can be turned on and turned off. If you don't want toxicity detection, you can turn it off, for example. But most customers want it. Then we demask the data that we have masked before. So that means we now Peter Parker becomes again Aleksander Kaszewski. And then we have an audit trail behind it, so logs that make sure, or that log what went in, what went out, and what comes out of the whole thing, to see how efficient everything was, and if there is a problem, for example, we can figure out what was the reason for the problem at the end of the day. That's how, and then of course we deliver the answer into the CRM app, into Salesforce, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, or whatever you want to have. Actually, this also goes for self-built applications. This is very interesting for the people here in the audience who like to build on Salesforce, own apps, own objects, all these things. So this whole thing does not only work in Sales and Service Cloud, it works on the whole system. So you can use Data Cloud in custom objects, in custom applications, and you can use the whole AI thing also in your custom apps and your custom objects. Very important thing for me, because I'm a developer by my background, and I like to build things on Salesforce, to be honest.
Exactly. Right. Thanks a lot, Markus. So having the data in place, onboarding the models, grounding the models on your data, you're able to fuel every channel, as we mentioned before. So you can help your sales guys to have a next best products, next best offer, next best customer to call based on the data. Thanks to the Data Cloud in Service Cloud, for example, you can use Einstein to help your service agents tell the customers what is the next best product, how to solve their issue, etc., etc. And for marketing, you can ask Einstein to build a segment, to build the content, to help you be more efficient with campaigns, etc., etc. In Tableau, that's for me a massive use case. You don't have to build the reports on dashboard on your own. You will be able to type the prompt, please do this report, and you just wait for Tableau to give you back the whole view. So that's in a nutshell how we believe data and AI will look in the future, how we build our platform to be ready for this future, to have this open architecture, open infrastructure, onboard models, onboard lakes, and democratize the data. That's very, very important part of the whole stuff. So we want to encourage business people, marketers, for example, to play with the data, to play with the segments, because that should not be in the IT department. IT has a lot of initiatives, huge backlog. They know what they do, and it's not their job to think what the segment will be best for these marketing campaigns, for example. And that's another massive advantage of the whole data cloud platform. And just to summarize and sum up the whole content that we prepared, what we just described, what Markus described, what I described, what is the future envision, we call it Einstein-wide platform, because we believe that all Salesforce apps, the whole platform will be fueled by data from Data Cloud and onboarded AI models that you will be able to bring from your end. So that's all from us. Thanks a lot for being here with us today. I think it's time for a Q&A session. So if you already have some
one
questions.
slide more.
Yeah, actually, that was my summary, and that is Markus' summary.
Yeah, that's actually the that's fine. That's really what I want you to take out of this whole thing. UI model data. So the UI is from Salesforce, obviously, because we're talking about Salesforce CRM solutions. The data should be somewhere connected or in Salesforce, like Data Cloud, for example, or in the CRM objects. And the model is something you can choose. You choose what you want and connect to it. And yeah, we're completely agnostic about that. That's what I always want to say at the end, because this is for me personally the most important thing, because it really follows our strategy that we have for 25 years now, that we are completely agnostic to what you want to connect to. Thank you from my side as well. And
that was the final ending. That was the final ending.
Open Q&A, no?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presentation. We have some questions. We also have some time. So if you guys have any questions, you still have time to leave them in the comments. The first question that we got is actually, I would say, was a huge part of your presentation. Yeah, it's this one. But you guys can consider if you have anything to add to this. Does Salesforce data and AI strategy consider integration with customers' existing IT systems and infrastructure?
Yeah, I would say that we showed this in the presentation, but the answer is yes, obviously, because it is important, and we can just emphasize this. This is super important to ground a prompt with your data, and that's why we have this whole idea about Data Cloud and bringing data into the system and using this for the prompts. So yeah, this is absolutely what we want. And on the other side as well, if you already built your own AI, and I know customers in Poland, for example, who have built some AI tools on Azure Cloud, for example. One customer I know has something built on Databricks, just at least from the customers I work with. So yeah, that's the whole idea. They can bring also their own AI. They can bring their own data. And yeah, absolutely part of our strategy, as it was always.
Okay, another one is about security. For me, a big concern when it comes to AI solutions is always security. How does Salesforce ensure data security when using AI?
Yeah, I hope the trust layer was already explained well enough. So, but no, that's the whole answer here. Our trust layer is really there to make sure that no PII data leaves your system, yeah, that's how we do this. And yeah, Yeah, that's basically the answer, I'd say, no?
Yeah, and another one, this one comes from Krzysztof from YouTube, and it's more specific. So, for example, I got a couple people with the same name and surname in my database. Will Einstein distinguish them and propose specific data and solutions for each profile?
So when you have a couple with the same name, so what you can do is, and this is more part of Data Cloud, you can define rules. If you have people with the same name and surname, that Einstein can, or not Einstein, sorry, Data Cloud can unify them, bring them together into one individual, let's say. And then what you can also do is you can, for example, use Einstein, and then now it's Einstein, to get data from a certain company into the system. And if, for example, on the public internet, this name, let's say Markus Paus from Salesforce, is mentioned somewhere public, then you can get the data, you can get this data from the public internet. If it's available, Einstein could deliver this. But we're not gonna search through the internet for this name, not at least at the moment, because that would be, that would not work with our trust layer. We don't want you to send name and personal information of a person out of your system. So if you would send out Markus Paus Salesforce, this would already be a breach of the trust boundary. So that's what we don't do at the moment. That's why you have things like LinkedIn connectors, for example, to do these things. Not sure if something's going to come there. Maybe. I know there are systems out there who for enriching this, but this is not on the roadmap at the moment.
Great. Okay, I'm checking to see if there are any new questions, but I can see that. Oh, yeah, we have a new one. How do you already use Einstein GPT in your everyday work? Any examples?
That's a very good question, Alex. Do you?
So actually, it helps a lot from a sales perspective. If you summarize the meetings, if you record the meeting, for example, the AI will, just make a summary in a short way. So give you the main context, main key points, key actions from the meeting. Of course, the whole transcript. You can easily find things in Salesforce. So it's connected, so it will bring you the objects or things related to the things that you are looking for. So that's the main from the sales perspective. So how I use in the daily work Einstein GPT. But I have customers that I work with that already use Einstein GPT for creating the copy, personalities, or subject lines in email. And it's already GA live. If you have Marketing Cloud, you can already do it. And I say that it's working. So that's what I can say from the sales and service, and from the sales and marketing. But from the service side, we have a very good case with Gucci. They are our reference customer. They showed how they operate in the customer service on the Dreamforce, so the biggest Salesforce event in the world. And they use Einstein to respond to the customer questions and customers' problems. And Einstein is proposing the whole response, the whole related articles, the links to the products. And the service agent that just need to check if everything is correct, and they can send it to the customer. So that's not only my daily work, but our customers' daily work. But probably, Markus, you can have some other examples.
Just thinking about my daily work, as an architect in Salesforce. So I said already, I'm a developer from my background, but to be honest, since I work for Salesforce, I haven't done a lot of code in the last years. As an architect, you don't write code so much. You just connect the different dots, let's just say. And so my development skills are not that good anymore, to be honest. And that's why I was really happy to see that we have Einstein for developers. And we didn't show this today, but it's a really, really nice thing, in my opinion, because when you use your Visual Studio Code, you just connect to your org, and you have to enable this, but it's there already for free for everybody. No? You can just describe something. For example, I had it recently for some presentation we did. I wanted to create a flow that flow should create a 4-digit number, a random 4-digit number, and send this out. So and via email. And I thought, okay, sending out an email via flow is easy. But how do I create the 4-digit code? It doesn't work with flow. So okay, I need an invocable Apex class that creates the that creates the 4-digit number and hands it over to the flow. That's what I just typed into Einstein for Developer, to the little window, the prompt window, and then I got an Apex class. And you're also now, at that time, no, we were not, but now you also have the possibility to create the test class directly with Einstein. Super helpful in my opinion, especially test classes. No developer likes to create test classes, as far as I know. And so these are use cases that I use, but also from our custom base again, I see the majority of requests comes really from the service departments, because when we can make our service people a little bit more efficient, then we can save a lot of money. And this is just the way it is, and that's where I can really help a lot by making service people more efficient in my opinion.
Great, thank you so much for that answer, and also thanks from Mateusz, who asked this question. Very helpful answer. Thank you. Krzysztof, the author of the previous one, also says thanks. Thank you guys so much for all your answers to our viewers' questions, but also for your presentation, for making things clear in a great way. Thank you once again, and we'll be heading towards the break, and after that we'll meet at 4 o'clock to have a last presentation. But once again, guys, thank you so much for joining us on S4 Summit 2024. And we really hope to see you guys again very soon during our next edition.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for the invitation. And what we want to emphasize at the end, as a IT people, more architects, developers, consultants, always think how the technology that you are implementing, building, can influence the business. Because if you have the link from with IT knowledge and the business understanding, then you are a fantastic support for business growth.
Thank you so much for this inspiration for the end, and we'll hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.